And South Africans sharing their thoughts on various trending issues. SABC digital producer Lebo Tshangela tells us more.
Let's look at what's happening in our online world this week. This week we visit the Civic Tech Forum.
If you're thinking of a tech solution to anything, first question, is it even necessary? To what end? You know, very often it's like, oh, the assumption of this nice, sexy, shiny toy is going to help me reach further, when actually some of the problems that you have are actually human flaws.
But first, let's look at the trending topics on social media.
You'll be forgiven for not keeping up with an intense week in the media this week. The data I'm about to quote still includes Patricia de Lille's launch of her new party, which seems like an age ago. Certainly the biggest story by far is Black Friday, as the retailers and social media gear up for a huge shopping day. I saw some statistics to say that South Africa is one of the biggest search indexes for Google for Black Friday, and we certainly have taken to the concept. Explosive testimony from Gordon and Fuzile pushed state capture inquiry to the top spot before it was toppled by Black Friday. Gordon and the attack by Julius Malema and the EFF on his daughter left social media reeling. But soon after, Praveen Gordon took the reins and the story started to dissipate. Momentum's PR team will also be very happy that their story happened earlier in this week, because Momentum was top story for the earlier parts of this week, but has been toppled now by Black Friday and state capture. Social media justice took hold and certainly won a round with a big corporate as Momentum capitulated and paid the Ganas family. Julius Malema himself had a very busy week as he struck out at Gordon by calling him a white monopoly capital dog, and the dog launched his assault. Malema also laid into the media, and media struck back. Media struck back certainly with the VBS bank story, and this put the non-existent bank back into the top 10 as we wrap up the week. Just when we thought we couldn't get any busier, we were notified of an imminent cabinet reshuffle. The first surprise was that we were actually notified. Imagine actually knowing that there was going to be a cabinet reshuffle. We couldn't believe our ears. The reshuffle, though, left social media a little bit damp. It wasn't quite what we expected. Many had bayed for blood, certainly calling for Batabili Dlamini's head. But we were left with one good news story, where we found the two ministries are actually merging, and finally cabinet is on a diet. Social media didn't warm to de Lille with the announcement, as we felt it was premature, and regardless that we love Patricia, it just wasn't the right time.
The top story is on sabcnews.com as liked by users. The story about ANC announcing that President Cyril Ramaphosa will pay back the 500,000 rand donation from Bosasa brought traffic to our website. The article about the bus fire killing at least 42 passengers was popular, and the story about a soccer legend arrested for drug manufacturing got hits. The Civic Tech Innovation Forum took place in Johannesburg this week. The two-day forum brings together South Africa's civic tech community, both governmental and non-governmental, for the purpose of sharing, learning, inspiring, and overall capability building.
So the themes, I think, are very real. There are a lot of the service delivery issues we all face. There's one GovChat that's talking about how people can report problems and have, if you want, a voice and closer access to government. So I think that tech is the theme, but underlying that are actually the real issues we all face on a day-to-day, particularly in the interface with the public, and how that could be done better. So I think there'll be lots of topical conversations that happen. We'll also talk just about the act of organizing and partnering. So we have a session, for example, on communities of practice. How do you mobilize collaboration? How do we work together better, whether it's between public and private sector or between communities and government? And we'll have those kinds of conversations as well.
GovChat was among the civic tech initiatives that held demo sessions at the forum.
So GovChat is the official citizen engagement platform for the South African government. We enable citizens and governments to communicate directly in real time. So what ultimately happens is citizens go onto their chosen technology platforms, i.e. WhatsApp, USSD, so star 120, and on mobile web. Now, when they're on those platforms, they're able to directly connect with one by rating and reporting, and that rating and reporting function enables them to connect to over 30,000 public facilities all over the country.
That's a quick look at what people were saying and what was the highlights online this week.